And welcome back, as it is time for election returns here on WLNT, Magic 104.1, 97.1 Cool FM, and RedskinRadio.com. And just hot off the presses, we finally have our first totals here in Loudon County. And these are the record-breaking early and absentee votes for Loudon County. So as we have right here, a total of 24,730 early and absentee votes cast here in Loudon County. Let's go ahead and give you the totals that we have, and these will kind of give us an idea of how things will go throughout the rest of the night. So, for United States President and Vice President, in the early and absentee votes, for the Republicans, Donald J. Trump, Michael R. Pence, 17,883 votes, coming to 72.54%. For Joe Biden, 6,218 votes. So the percentage goes for Trump 72.5%, for Biden 25.2%. So that is, and interestingly enough, just we've kind of had our eye on Kanye West.
That's right. We got to keep up with that.
In the early voting, he actually got 136 votes, which would place him fourth in Loudon County.
Go Kanye.
The Libertarian candidate Joe Jorgensen had 177 votes, so that would come in third place right now. Okay.
Interesting, Russell. Donald Trump had 70. How much percent?
He had 75% last election. Here in the early voting, 72.54% of the
His
vote.
percentage is down a little bit.
Yeah, just slightly. So now, I think this is a very interesting number to take a look at. They do have it broken down by absentee votes. If you take the early voting out, in the absentee votes, for Trump, 1,805. For Biden, 1,710. Mm-hmm. So in the absentee vote, and we heard so much about mail-in voting, and that's where it comes in place here. Biden was very competitive with Trump in Loudon County when it comes simply taking a look at the absentee votes.
And that's what the national media has been reporting, that Democrats were much more likely to vote early.
Yep. So that was, and that was quite a big percentage of the total vote for Joe Biden. Okay, for United States Senate, this race has already been called throughout the state of Tennessee. Bill Hagerty, the Republican candidate for United States Senate, 18,110 votes. That's over 75% of the vote. Marquita Bradshaw, 5,397 votes. So Bradshaw with about 22.45% of the vote, which was right around what Biden was able to get. So Hagerty winning very decisively here in Loudon County. United States House of Representatives in District 2, Tim Burchett, 18,548 votes. Renee Hoyos, 5,267 votes. So Burchett actually of Trump, Hagerty, and Burchett actually got a higher percentage of the vote. He winds up with 76.8% of the vote here in Loudon County. Tennessee House of Representatives, District 21, running unopposed was Lowell Russell, 14,250 votes for Lowell Russell, who is the incumbent and will win that race. Tennessee House of Representatives, District 32, Kent Calfee, 5,641 votes in that race, running unopposed. All right, now getting into some of the local elections. For Greenback Mayor, running unopposed, Dwayne Birchfield, 197 votes. There were 12 votes that were write-ins, so there was a total of 209 votes cast. So Birchfield got 94.26% in the race for Greenback Mayor. The Greenback Alderman, 4 winners, and there's 4 candidates. Tina S. Baker with 165 votes. Linda Black with 154 votes. Delmar L. Davis with 162 votes. And then there was 42 write-in votes there. So there was 3 candidates running for 4 spots. So everyone's a winner in everyone's winner in that race.
That's correct.
So
everybody goes home happy.
yes, that's a good one. Good one there. Of course, these are the early and absentee votes here in Loudon County. For Lenoir City Mayor, Tony Akins with 2,342 votes, 92 write-in votes. So 2,342 votes for Lenoir City Mayor Tony Akins, running again unopposed. For Lenoir City Councilman, here are the numbers as they go. You vote for 3 spots up for grabs, and there's several people running in this race. So here as they are, we're going to go in order, and then we'll give you a total. David A. Cole, 780 votes. Mike Henline, 1,167 votes. Todd Kennedy with 981 votes. Steve David Shoemaker with 991 votes. Eddie Simpson with 1,486 votes. And Jennifer L. Wampler with 1,735 votes.
Well, Jennifer Wampler was the leading
vote total with 1,735. Eddie Simpson in second place with 1,486 votes. Mike Henline, 1,167 votes. So those are the top 3 in that race. And just outside the top 3 in fourth place, Steve David Shoemaker with 991 votes. That's for Lenoir City Council. Okay, Lenoir City City Recorder and Treasurer, James Jim Wilburn III, 2,334 votes. And again, these are your early voting and absentee totals.
Repeat that number, please.
2,334 votes for James Jim Wilburn III.
Okay. If I could interrupt you just a second, we just got word from the Election Commission that they have just about everything here, and they're going to do a final printout here in just a few minutes.
Okay.
So they think they've got everything.
This is unprecedented.
Unprecedented. Usually what we see is we'll see the absentee numbers come in and then a handful of precincts, but they think they've got everything, and they're going to give us their final version of the print off here in just a few minutes.
Which would have to indicate that there must have not been many lines at 8 o'clock when the polls closed. No. So they were able to shut everything down and get it here quickly. A contested race for Lenoir City School Board. This one is pretty tight. 3 spots up for grabs. There's 4 candidates for Lenoir City School Board. Rick L. Chadwick with 1,664 votes. Ron Jordan with 1,499 votes. Mitch Ledbetter with 1,793 votes. And Glen McNish with 1,653 votes. So that's a very tight race. 4 people competing for 3 spots. So if we go in order right here, Mitch Ledbetter in first with 1,793 votes. Rick Chadwick with 1,664 votes. Glen McNish with 1,653 votes is in third place right now. And about 150 votes behind is Ron Jordan. And again, this is in the early and absentee totals, and we're getting ready to be given the final scores here in just a few moments. Philadelphia Mayor Damian Crawford got 97 votes, running unopposed for Philadelphia Mayor, and 4 people running for the spot of a Philadelphia Alderman. 4 candidates running for 4 spots, so everyone will be a winner in this race. Cindy Crawford with 87 votes, Alexa Crowley with 88, Dwayne Presley with 90, and Crystal Michelle Presley with 90 votes as well. So those are your early totals here in Loudon County. And then again, we are anticipating any moment being able to give you the final totals for all of Loudon County. So again, very unprecedented that we would have this information this early in the going, as it's not even 9 o'clock yet. We're just a few minutes away from the top of the hour, and we're going to have those totals, which would mean that's an incredible feat accomplished by the Loudon County Election Commission to have that information to us less than an hour after the polls closed.
And you mentioned the top of the hour there. While we have just a moment, let's go ahead and take care of our station identification. You're listening to live coverage from the Loudon County Election Commission.
WLNT LP Loudon. WLNULP, Lenore City.
WMJA-LP Loudon.
WEOZ-LP Loudon.
And we're back here in the Loudon County Commission office. We have just given you the early vote totals as we have them. Not many surprises in all of that, was there, Russell?
No, I think it's pretty much playing out as in the way that we anticipated it to do so. And again, I think the big surprise is that basically everything with all of the early voting that took place, that they have those totals ready to go for us, and we were able to present those to you, and we are anticipating here within just a matter of minutes having the final totals, so we won't have to go through the district by district breakdown, and I'm sure that they will give it to us at some point in time if people are interested in that. But we will have those final totals coming up. So I'm flabbergasted at how well this has gone.
And I know you guys can't see this because you're on camera and sitting over to the side, but we have there's probably about 30 people out in the lobby, and I'm sure a few outside that are anxiously gathering numbers and awaiting on that final printout to come out as well. So that's something that is unique to Loudon County, is that we have a little lobby out here, and that's where folks gather up to get the numbers. They usually have somebody read them off, and there's folks out there right now that just making phone calls and transferring information.
We heard some cheering a few moments ago,
Right.
and I'm not exactly sure what that was for, but that is definitely one of the nice things about Loudon County, is it's kind of a tip of the cap to the way things used to be in elections. You know, now we can find everything out on the internet through Twitter and different ways, but to still see people come to the election commission and hear those totals read off is kind of harkens back to the way things used to be when I first started and long before that.
And I have to say this, we're very blessed here in Loudon County to have the election commission, the county government building, school board, all in the same place. We have great facilities.
Yes.
And they do a lot of work to accommodate the folks that are going to be in the lobby and to make the information available, and of course to accommodate us and make our jobs easier. So I've worked in a couple of other counties, and I'll tell you, we've got it made here as far as what we do.
You know, this is yeoman's work that's been done by the Loudon County Election Commission to put all of this together and to quickly get us the reports that they do. And again, we record totals of early and absentee votes. 24,627 total votes were cast, which was more than was cast in all of the 2016 presidential election. And that was amazing. Quite a few more. The early voting in 2016 was 18,747, so there was almost 6,000 more people participated in early voting for this election than did in 2016. And for the Loudon County Election Commission to have that information, have everything counted, tabulated, and for us to be just moments away from getting the final totals in Loudon County, again, that's amazing work by them, and that is definitely a tribute to the great work that's done here in Loudon County. Whereas seeing in Knox County, no results yet from Knox County yet, because there are still people in line at the polls in Knox County right now. So in many other places, we're not getting any results.
It'll be interesting to see what the total vote comes out to be today, and to see how many people actually voted on election day.
Yeah, and
I can't imagine that there was too many, but you never know.
Well, based on the fact of in almost 45 minutes after the polls closed, that they pretty much had everything here, and I'm not sure how long it takes to shut down a polling place and get the information in the car to come here, but that's pretty amazing.
Well, you know, Greenback would be the farthest drive for them to bring the equipment and the information back. So in previous years, that's usually been one of the last ones that we've seen because of the drive time. But, you know, if there was nobody in line when the polls closed, and they had all their prep work done, they could have sent the machine right on over with somebody. So I could very easily see this time around things going much faster, especially with the high number of early voting that we had. Folks have already voted or absentee voted, and now on election day you didn't have that end of the day line because you know, a lot of folks, if they don't get off work till maybe 6 o'clock, they've got a couple hours to vote, and you spread that across the entire county, that can create a little bit of a backup. But we haven't heard any reports of anybody being in line. Maybe if we get a little bit later on, maybe we'll see Susan Harrison and she can give us some insight into that. But it'll be interesting to see how the numbers for election day actually shake out.
Well, and the other X factor in that is I think this is the second election that using the new voting machines, the new system for voting. So for there not to be any issues with that in only the second time out, I think that's been huge.
That's something I do want to tell you. I do know for sure that the company that they get the voting machines from does have a representative here on site in case there are any technical issues. So that's another level of reassurance that we've seen in this election cycle that we may not have noticed previously.
So it's definitely, you know, it takes a village to be able to pull something like this off. And I heard in the interview, you know, talking with Ms. Harrison, like 100 people were involved in putting this together. I don't think people realize the amount of effort and time and planning that it takes to pull something like this off. And then to be able to do it pretty much seamlessly is incredible.
Right, and I heard somebody say one time, well, the voting only just happens one day. Well, that used to be the case. You know, you only voted one day, and then now we've got absentee voting and early voting and all that, and then the amount of legwork that goes into that, somebody has to be there every day.
Right.
And I know Susan has been here many times till, you know, 10, 11 o'clock at night working, and sure can't say enough good things about the work she does. And, you know, some other counties could take a page out of her book because her and her staff do just a wonderful job.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to come, and I know, you know, Chip, in you having to set all this up, you know, they're so accommodating, and that's not always the case in some places where they would so welcome a production like this in their building.
Well, I won't say which county, but I did election coverage in another county and had to sit on the porch of the courthouse basically in freezing weather to A, be able to get a phone signal, and B, they really just didn't want us in there. They had us in a little room, and every time somebody came in to vote that couldn't read, we had to leave so they could have our table to accommodate them. So we are very blessed here, and the work that goes into this is I'm here just about every day. Like I said, I just live around the corner, so I have the luxury of just dropping in here and seeing Susan Harrison and the staff and just asking them how things are going. And that's not the case in a lot of places. So we are blessed to have what we have here, and I can't say enough good things about them. Now, I do want to say that, you know, looking ahead to the future, I hope it stays just this way, because the other thing I wanted to say too is we got to thank the Loudon County School Board. Mike Guerin, Director of Schools here in Loudon County, lets us use this room. This is not part of the Election Commission where we are. We're actually in the school board area, but they do a wonderful job of letting us come in and just sort of make ourselves at home.
Yes, and the setup grows and grows and grows as we're able to give you more coverage and more detailed coverage and be able to put it out on so many different levels of media. I think that's really a neat thing that we're able to provide so much coverage here in Loudon County.
Well, one thing that I did want to say is that we had some interviews, like earlier we talked to Buddy Bradshaw. If you want to watch that a little bit later, we'll have that up on our YouTube channel just as soon as we can get it uploaded, probably tomorrow. So we'll have all this uploaded so you can go back and relive it if you want to.
Yes, well, it's good government and good coverage of this. So I really think let's just quickly kind of rehash some of the highlights of the early voting right now and the absentee voting. So for President Donald Trump, 17,883 votes here in Loudon County. Joe Biden, 6,218 votes. So for Trump, that was 72.54%. For Biden, 25.22%. Bill Haggerty for United States Senate. He's already been projected as the winner, 18,110 votes. Marquita Bradshaw, 5,397 votes. So Haggerty was 75% of the vote in that election, as he will be going to the United States Senate. And for United States House of Representatives, Tim Burchett, 18,548 votes here in Loudon County. That was almost 77% of the vote, actually 76.88% of the votes. Lowell Russell in the Tennessee House of Representatives, District 21, 14,250 votes. Kent Calfee, Tennessee House of Representatives in District 32, 5,641 votes.
In that House of Representative race, there was a third person running, Matthew Campbell. How many votes did he get in Loudon County?
Let's see. Campbell got 300 votes.
300.
Yep. So taking a look at that, Burchett, 18,548. Renee Hoyos, the Democratic candidate, 5,267. And the independent Matthew Campbell with 300 votes.
There's an interesting relationship there, Russell, in the presidential race. As far as a percentage of the vote goes, the Republican percentage went down just a little bit in that, maybe a point or two. But in the House of Representatives vote for Burchett, the percentage of the vote went up by about 1%, and Renee Hoyos went down a little bit. I'm a little bit surprised at that. I thought she was running a stronger campaign.
Well, and with more excitement on the Democratic side to get out, you would think it would kind of pigtail on the support for Joe Biden, that she would get some more votes, and I think they really felt like that was kind of in play. Of course, that was the seat that was held by the Duncan family for so long, and really, all of those elections were pretty much over before they began back in the day.
Yeah, this is Tim Burchett's first time to run for re-election. So, but she got about 1,000 votes less than Joe Biden got.
Okay.
As you reported there, Joe Biden had 6,218. She had 5,267. Of course, that's, again, I have to remind myself, too, this is just in Loudon County.
Right,
They've got a bigger district than just Loudon County to be recorded yet.
And it probably shouldn't be that big of a surprise that the United States House of Representatives candidate would get maybe more votes than the presidential candidate, because Tim Burchett is so visible in so many communities in this area, and does such a good job of engaging people on social media, and seems like he does a pretty good job of trying to bring people together of all different beliefs, and again, that's been a very strong seat in the past for Republicans. Definitely the foundation that the Duncan family put in place, holding that position, and the constituent service they gave, and I know that was one of the hallmarks for Congressman Duncan when he was in that position, was you could always count on them. If you needed something, they would have someone who would listen to you and offer help, and that definitely people remember that when they go to the voting booth.
I believe I heard during the race that it was in 1848 the last time a Democrat was elected to the 2nd district seat.
Well, that was quite a long time ago. That was much before my time.
Just barely.
Yes.
Well, I remember it well.
Well, we have.
Looks like we may be getting some more results. This got the final.
All right.
Mine's got 12 votes. We'll be doing it.
All right. So this is.
Thank you, Susan.
So there's just a few votes to be counted. She said, maybe about 12 votes.
12
so
votes.
that may be, I guess, I would assume those may be provisional type ballots to be determined. So we can pretty much tell you that for Loudon County at 9:12 p.m. on November 3rd, here are your final totals, and this is probably the earliest that we've ever been able to present these final totals to you. So let's go ahead and take a look, and let's go first. Ballots cast, 29,459 total ballots cast. There were 24,730 cast in early voting. So
4,712, it
So
says
there
for
was-
election
so
day.
on election day, there was only a little bit over 4,000 people that went to the polls. So by far the majority went to the polls during early and absentee voting. Okay, here we go. So stand by for your final totals here in Loudon County. For United States President and Vice President, Donald J. Trump, 21,676 votes here in Loudon County. He wins Loudon County with a percentage of 73.82%. The Democratic candidate, Joe Biden, 6,929 votes in Loudon County. He comes away with a percentage of 23.6%. Fourth place in Loudon County, Joe Jorgensen with 270 votes. In fourth place, independent candidate Kanye West with 181 votes, as Kanye comes in fourth place here in Loudon County. So those are your totals for the president, as Donald Trump gets 73.82% of the vote here in Loudon County.
Which is very little variance from the early vote.
Yes. So pretty much everything played out, and it's already been called for the entire state of Tennessee that Donald Trump has won the state of Tennessee. And let's see if we can quickly just give you a total, if we can find it real fast. Statewide in the state of Tennessee right now, at this moment, Donald Trump has 1,041,037 votes compared to 601,564 for Joe Biden statewide in the state of Tennessee. So Donald Trump wins Loudon County and the state of Tennessee. Let's move over to the United States Senate race. The Republican candidate, Bill Hagerty, 21,854 votes, as he comes away with 76.36% of the vote. The Democratic candidate, Marquita Bradshaw, 6,046 votes, so she gets 21.13% of the vote there. So Bill Hagerty will be going to the United States Senate as a Republican. United States House of Representatives, District 2. The winner is Tim Burchett, 22,397 votes. Of course, there's a few other counties that get added into that total, but pretty much he's going to be the winner. 78% of the vote here in Loudon County. Renee Hoyos with 5,877 votes. That comes out to 20.47% of the vote. Matthew Campbell, the independent candidate, with 424 votes there for the United States House of Representatives District 2, as it appears that Tim Burchett has won re-election there. An unopposed race for Tennessee House of Representatives in District 21. Lowell Russell with 17,406 votes. He is the unopposed winner in that race. 17,406 votes for Lowell Russell, who will return to his position in the Tennessee House of Representatives in District 21. Again, there's other counties that get factored into that as well. Also, Tennessee House of Representatives in District 32, and again, this is in Loudon County. Kent Calfee, 6,659 votes there for him in District 32.
All right. That takes care of the national and statewide elections.
All right, for Greenback Mayor, Dwayne Birchfield, running unopposed, had 424 votes. There were 31 write-in votes, total votes cast in Greenback of 455 votes for Greenback Mayor. The winner is Dwayne Birchfield. For Greenback Alderman, there were candidates running for four positions, or actually three candidates running for four positions. Tina S. Baker with 374 votes, Linda Black with 341 votes, Delmar L. Davis with 364 votes, and then there were 95 write-in votes in that race. So Tina Baker, Linda Black, and Delmar Davis are the winners for Greenback Alderman. For Lenoir City Mayor, running unopposed, was Tony Akins. He received 2,835 votes. There were 115 write-in votes in that race, but Tony R. Akins will win re-election as Lenoir City Mayor, getting 96.1% of the vote. For Lenoir City Councilman, this was a contested race. The top three vote getters will win election to the Lenoir City Council. Going down the list, David A. Cole with 941 votes, Mike Henline with 1,403 votes, Todd Kennedy 1,175 votes, Steve David Shoemaker with 1,182 votes, Eddie Simpson with 1,810 votes, and Jennifer L. Wampler with 2,097 votes. So the top three vote getters there would be Jennifer L. Wampler with 2,097 votes. Second place, Eddie Simpson, 1,810 votes. And coming in third place, Mike Henline, 1,403 votes. Those will be the three people being elected to the Lenoir City City Council. For Lenoir City City Recorder and Treasurer, James Jim Wilburn III received a complimentary vote of 2,826 votes. For Lenoir City School Board, there are four candidates running for three positions. Rick L. Chadwick, 2,016 votes. Ron Jordan with 1,845 votes. Mitch Ledbetter, 2,173 votes. Glen McNish with 1,979 votes. So the top three go to the Lenoir City School Board. It shakes out like this. Mitch Ledbetter, 2,173 votes. Rick L. Chadwick with 2,016 votes. And Glen McNish with 1,979 votes. Those three will go to the Lenoir City School Board. For Philadelphia Mayor, running unopposed, Damian Crawford with 167 votes. Running unopposed, he gets the complimentary vote there to win the race for Philadelphia Mayor. For Philadelphia Alderman, four candidates running for four positions, and it shakes out like this. Cindy Crawford with 150 votes, Alexa Crawley with 147 votes, Dwayne Presley with 152 votes, and Crystal Michelle Presley with 150 votes. And that is the race for Philadelphia Alderman. And at 9:20 p.m., here on election night, those are your final totals basically for Loudon County. As we said, we have about 12 votes. I think that may be provisional type ballots yet to be counted, but we can pretty much say that's the story from Loudon County.
Thank you very much, Russell. And we have joining us now one of the successful candidates from the Lenoir City School Board, Mr. Glen McNish. Welcome, Glen.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. Boy, this was a very close race. We had a newcomer who came in and challenged the, I guess you might say, the status quo of the Lenoir City Board of Education. But I've got to say, I talked with Ron a little bit earlier, and Ron Jordan, and he said, you know, I don't have anything against you guys. Every one of y'all have done a good job. I'd just like to run for office and maybe see some changes, that type of thing. I think it's a vote of confidence from the voters. And first and foremost, I want to thank everyone who went to the polls and voted for myself. And also for, on behalf of Rick Chadwick and Mitchell Ledbetter, who are not here tonight, I think this particular school board that we have has done an excellent job in being able to place administrators and teachers in the right position to get the right job done. Our last full year of school, all three of our schools received exemplary status from the state, and that's the highest ranking that you can get in Tennessee. And I was kidding Russell a little bit earlier. I just got notified on Friday that from the state TSBA that I had been selected to the All-State School Board this year in a ceremony that's coming up on the 12th of November. And normally this would be taking place at Opryland Hotel in Nashville, but it's going to be done virtually in our offices at Lenoir City with a direct hookup with the folks in Nashville. But you know, again, I thank all of the voters, and I thank them for their confidence. And to me, our future is the kids. I mean, these kids, they're our future, and I look at the schools as a doorway that opens up into the future, and it's our job to educate these kids so that when they go through that doorway into the future, that they can be successful and be good citizens of our city, our county, our state, our community. And I told Ron a little bit earlier, I said, this is not the end all of everything. I said, if I lose, the sun's still going to come up tomorrow. God's still on his throne, and all is well with my soul. And if I win, same thing. Sun comes up tomorrow, God's on his throne, and all is well with my soul. And this is a time my bucket didn't have a hole in it this time. And I didn't come back from the well with the bucket full of empty. And again, I just thank all of the voters for their support and their confidence in our school system in Lenoir City and our school board, and we're going to keep on doing the best we can for all of our kids.
Well, congratulations on your victory, and congratulations on the honor of the state school board.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're going to be an incumbent when you receive that.
Yeah,
Remember now of the all-state team.
I said, it would have been kind of embarrassing to go and accept an award as a member of the All-State and not be on the school board anymore. But fortunately, that the good Lord worked that out for us.
Well, 90% of what you worry about never happens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Glen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us tonight. Well, Russell, we wrapped it up a lot quicker than I thought we would wrap it up.
Boy, it is. It's definitely. I don't think it's going to be this is going to be the case probably in any other part of the country, but here in our little corner of the world in Loudon County, all is well as we have pretty much all of the votes counted and have these final totals. And again, you just have to take your hat off to everyone here at the Election Commission to be able to pull this off at this early hour is nothing short of amazing.
Well, it is, and we're glad to have been able to bring it to you. Russell, I appreciate you coming down here to lend your talent to this operation. I didn't even get to use my spreadsheet. They came out with such fast numbers tonight. What am I going to do?
We've ruined your plan. Fast election. Now, you just have to wonder if the counting part of this one went as smooth, how the future ones will be. You might not ever get to use your spreadsheet again.
I may be unemployed for the rest of the time.
You never know.
But we appreciate all of you who are out there listening to us, whether you're listening to us on the radio or on the internet. We appreciate you very much. Keep in mind that Chip is constantly bringing you local news, local information about the schools. If you need to know it about Loudon County, you can find it on Chip's radio station. So just keep that in mind. Remember that tonight you have listened to us on 96.1 WLNT, on Magic 104.1, on 97.1 Cool FM, and on redskinradio.com. And we appreciate every one of you. The coverage tonight that we've provided for you has been made possible by Brewster Service Group.
Well, Jim and Russell, I appreciate you coming out, and we'll want again say a special hello and send some love to our friend Jack Leffler and some other folks out there. We hope that he's doing well. And again, thank you all for coming down and helping out. You do a wonderful job. I really don't have to do anything except set all the equipment up. You all, the way I see it, you all do all the hard work. So, but I appreciate you coming out. What we're going to do right now is we'll go back to the station and join ABC in progress, and we'll stay with their coverage for a little bit, so stay with that. You've been listening to Election Night coverage on 96.1 WLNT, Magic 104.1 WMJA, 97.1 Cool FM, redskinradio.com. This broadcast copyright 2020 WLNT Radio.